Brian here from Yankee Barbecue. Today we are going to smoke some beef ribs. We've got our beef ribs here. They are USDA choice that we get from our supplier. We're going to get them out of the package, get them trimmed up. A lot of places don't like to trim, they just season them and go, but these have that silver skin on the top and we like to get that off. We find that we've tried it before without trimming them, and we find that when you go to cut them, the bark slides right off the top with all the silver skin. So we want the bark and the seasoning right on the meat. So we just get under that silver skin with our 6-inch boning knife and get as much of that off as we can without getting too much meat cut off with it. There's still a lot of marbling in there, and there's some fat there on the right hand side, but we're just going to leave that, otherwise we'll just end up cutting down to the bone. So we'll season it in our newspaper seasoning that's black and white. It's pepper and salt. We don't season the backside because you don't eat that membrane part, but we do season the heck out of the top. And that will help us get a great bark, and pop them in our pan there. Okay, we're going to get those in the walk-in cooler, and I'll bring you back in the morning.
Hey, what's up guys? It is 4:41 a.m. Friday the 13th. We are about to get ready to put our beef ribs on the smoker. We're going to be using this little guy today. It's a little frosty out. But what we're going to do first is get our fire going. Well, get our fire set up anyways. And then we put our beef ribs on before we actually start the fire. We just like to, I know it's a little cold, but we like the meat and the smoker to sort of come up to temperature together, if you will. And then you kind of get like a little bit of a, kind of like a cold smoke on it too while you're getting your fire going and getting that set. So we're going to bring out the beef ribs and throw them on. We'll bring you right back in a minute. Okay, we have our beef ribs that we seasoned up yesterday after we trimmed them. So we're going to get them out to the smoker, get them on, then get our fire going. You can't see me because I'm actually wearing the camera. I have Meta glasses on, which I think these things are pretty cool for doing this sort of thing. When we throw them on the smoker, I like to place them so that the bones are facing this way, so the heat's coming right across the rack, and then you'll get that nice pullback. Probably be putting some turkey on here as well a little bit later. But these beef ribs should take around 8 hours total time. And then they're going to have a real nice long rest in our warming cabinet overnight for service tomorrow. Alright, we're going to get the fire going, bring you guys right back. Alright, looks like Pitmaster Sean is just pulling in right now. About 15 minutes early, like he always is. It's a little chilly out today, so I'm throwing some gloves on and get the old girl fired up here. If you've got an offset pit, like a bigger one that takes wood and not just charcoal, get yourself one of these little blowers too. These things are awesome just to get your fire going. I know a lot of people like to use charcoal in a chimney to start their fire. We used to do that, but it gets kind of expensive after a while, and it's a lot cheaper just to use the torch guy there and propane. Yeah, this little blower is awesome. case you got wet wood, or sometimes it just doesn't like to light. I think it gets cold like we do in the morning. But we like to try to keep the wood kind of tight together. Obviously we don't have a coal bed going yet, but that'll come. Like I said, it's almost like we're getting sort of a cold smoke on our meat first thing. That good smoke flavor on there. And then I didn't mention yesterday, that was just our newspaper rub that we use on the beef ribs. Newspaper, black and white, salt and pepper, black and white, not in that order. Obviously, a lot of places like to get their fire going first, get their smoker warmed up first, so they have a coal base in their firebox right away. That's one way to do it. This is just the way we do it, and we like it. So, and obviously nothing that we do here is, we wouldn't say the way to do it. There's a million different ways to do things, so this is just our way. Also, not a bad idea to stick some wood up on top of your firebox. That'll help kind of dry it out and get it ready to catch when it's turn inside the firebox, so you're not waiting on any potential wet wood, and it'll combust quicker for you. So we are right around 150 in our cooking chamber, and we're gonna probably pop it up to around 175 to 200 and stay there for at least an hour, maybe 2 hours. Actually, so this pit is pretty cool. It actually belongs to our pitmaster Sean. It's kind of like a Frankenstein pit. We took it apart and re-welded it. So this end, you can see here, the weld, that whole piece was the firebox originally, but it's the same size as the cooking chamber. It was way too big. It didn't need to be that big. The guy who built it, I'm not gonna mention any names, but he just didn't think it through whatsoever. So this whole end was super heavy, and he actually had, so he had that end on here, and he put a kickstand on it because the whole trailer would pop up like that. So brought my torches and welder down to the shop, cut that end off with the stack, put the whole firebox on here, welded that up. So now we have a bigger cooking chamber, and then got a smaller piece of pipe for our firebox. It kind of looks a little bit different as opposed to this guy where the firebox is sitting lower, but it works out nice. We do use it a lot for cold smoking. It just, for some reason, this smoker generates a ton of smoke, so it's great for cold smoking our sausages and our fish fillets for our fish fries. But today we're hot smoking in her, I guess you could say. All right, so we're a little bit over 200, closer to the firebox, kind of more in the middle. We're just about 200, so we're gonna hover right around here for a couple hours, and we'll bring you guys back later on when we start building some bark and get a look at it. All right, it's 7:44 in the morning. We're building up to 250. Just had that door open to take some turkeys out, so that's why that temperature gauge went down a little bit. Let's take a look at our beef ribs. Oh yeah, buddy, looking good. A nice bark building on there. Oh yeah, coming along real nice. Still getting some of the rub coming off though, so that bark's not totally set. So we're gonna let them go. I don't even think we're gonna spritz them or anything. They look pretty good. We'll let them roll. Bring you guys back later. Oh, happy Friday the 13th. Good morning, everybody. Okay, time is now 9:55. Let's take a look here. Put a couple blocking logs there. We did end up spritzing a little bit just because we don't run a water pan in this. We usually use this cooker for cold smoking, so haven't really used it in a long time just for really cooking a big protein like this. Anyways, you can see some real nice pullback on the bones there from our beef ribs. 166-ish. Generally, once we get our bark in our nice color, which is, we have awesome color right now. Bark is set for the most part. Yeah, we generally wrap in butcher paper, but we're thinking about maybe just letting these guys run without wrapping them and see how they come out. So once we figure out if we're going to wrap or whatever, we'll bring you back later and check them out. So also, this firebox is a non-insulated firebox. I just put this log on. I had it up here warming up, so it's super hot up here because it's not insulated, and that thing caught like immediately, so that's perfect. That's going to give us some heat immediately. It's a nice log. I like the moisture content of it, so should give us sustained heat as well instead of just burning up super quick, which will happen if your wood is too dry. Get that closed and we'll see you guys later. Okay, time is 20 after 11. We decided we are gonna wrap our beef ribs up just to, that helps the cooking process move along. So just for reference, hanging around 168, 179, 170s. And these usually, they're still feeling tight, but they usually come off, it's like a brisket, somewhere around 200, 203 is where they end up coming off. So we're gonna get these in our pan, get them wrapped up inside.
Okay, so we got our butcher paper here and our beef ribs. I'm going to give our butcher paper a spray with some Worcestershire and water mixture. Beef ribs get laid down in the butcher paper, meat side down, and then get wrapped up. Doing a voiceover again just because we have music playing in the background inside the restaurant while the guys are doing their prep, and we don't want to deal with copyright issues with music on YouTube. So we're going to get these all wrapped up and back on the smoker, and we'll bring you back for a little tasting in just a minute. All right, so we already sliced one of the beef ribs off of our rack. You can see the butcher paper is nice and greasy, nice rendered fat out of these guys. They're looking good. Nice smoke ring we got going on there. Nice and tender, great looking bark. Just all around came out beautiful. So now I'm going to take my glasses off, spin them around, give them to our head chef, and going to do a little tasting. All right, now the head chef has the glasses on, still doing a voiceover, but here's our beautiful beef rib, super tender. Meat just boop, pulls right off. It's delicious. It's unctuous, fatty, beefy, and just the fat coats your mouth. It's so good. These beef ribs are amazing, and I suggest everyone give them a try. So thanks for watching our video on our beef ribs. Feel free to comment underneath if you have any questions. Check out our socials as we post when we make them. It's not all the time. Y'all have a great day.